Here's why I built a 7-figure paid ads agency in Singapore serving brick and mortar businesses and also info businesses, and I left. So I ran an agency for about 3 years with about 12 over team members, 3 other partners, and we served over 50 plus clients overall in the last 3 years. So most people at the start of this success would call me crazy to actually leave a 7-figure business to actually start something from scratch again. So I realized I want to learn more at that point of time about marketing, about businesses in general, and agency wasn't really the path to really go and learn that throughout. It was a great starting point, I'm not gonna lie, but what the agency wanted at that point of time with my partners and what I wanted were fairly different at a different life stage, right? So after 3 years grinding out in the agency space, I was leading a team as well and also serving clients at the highest level. I decided to really boil down and distill down what I actually wanted to do in the next 3 to 5 years. And agency wasn't really what I wanted to do forever, right? It was something that was a kickstart in my career to actually learn and actually build that skill level, build that also that cash flow for myself. That I was able actually to go on to the next level. At the point of time, it was hard to really propose a lot of ideas to clients as we were agency, a kind of middleman in their business and a freelancer. The best way to actually serve the clients was to actually do what we agree upon and not to do other things. And as you know, paid ads isn't the only solution to scaling a business. Sometimes fundamentally the business is flawed in certain areas, and by actually shifting the focus there, you can actually scale much easier and actually do much stuff. So it took me a lot of time to decide whether to leave this, and it was my baby at the start, and it was my first successful business after a few failed attempts. But I listened to my gut, and my gut told me at a point in time it was the time to leave. I'm going to share with you some context about my journey and entrepreneurship after 4 years of actually running a business. All right, so what we go through is clarity, purpose and mission, skill set, and money. To give you more context, I started this agency after I graduated from university. And the reason why I started this agency, so I was actually studying in as a physiotherapist, and I graduated as one in Singapore. And when I went to Ireland, I had this inkling feeling that it's either I'm gonna do physiotherapy forever, or I'm gonna start something new before I get into the later stage of life, right? So I went to Ireland for the internship, and then I had the realizations that is this really what I really want to do for the rest of my life, or is there something else that I haven't tried before and I wanted to go and try it? And at that point in time, I was doing dropshipping, doing ads for my own businesses, like some dropshipping endeavors, but wasn't really going that well. I had some success, had some failures, but I wasn't really that successful at that point in time because I didn't know marketing in general. I didn't know how to run ads. I didn't know what is strategy. I didn't know all these kind of things, copywriting as well. So I decided that agency might be one of the best bet I could have done to actually use other people's money to kind of fund my learning while actually trying to give them as best of a service at a point in time. On hindsight, at a point in time, it was a great idea, but right now, if you think through, it wasn't that good idea. But I'm grateful that I take the risk and leap of faith to actually start this journey. So in the agency, I learned a lot about sales, a lot about marketing, a lot about servicing clients, a lot about hiring and leadership as well. And really I would say, made the way for my foundations in business and entrepreneurship in general. So I also met a lot of people and traveled around the world, meeting a lot of mentors and new friends. And I'm very, very grateful for this experience itself. So now, even though agency is one of the better business model to start as it gives you easy cash flow, is a service business, it actually costs $0 to fulfill unless you are not the one fulfilling it. And it has great margins based on and leverage as well. So there are some challenges I face, right? So not all clients are equal. 20% of my clients give me almost can feed my whole agency very well. The other 80% might be a pain to serve. Not saying all are pain. There are great clients out there, but essentially not all clients are great, or all clients are equal in terms of like the money they give you, the results they do, or even the fulfillment that you actually give them. So there's never a foolproof system that you can do to streamline process. You can do it, but there's never one due to everybody's human in nature. So each requirements are different. The second thing is you can only help so much as this is not your business. So you aren't the business owner, you aren't the founder, you aren't the CEO, right? You can only consult, comment, and give advice to a certain level. They might feel that you haven't run like their business before, so you don't know what's going on. You haven't have the experience. You're young. All these are problems that I face as well. Not saying that I face them now, but at a point of time, I wasn't able to actually shift their direction in solving different problems. third thing is agency work is highly stressful because you are the middleman and you are the arbitrage, right? You're using an arbitrage play. So meaning you're hiring people, training them up, and then that person will actually serve the client, right? Essentially, this is how you run. If not, you don't really have enough time to actually do it. How many clients can you serve? So the arbitrage play to me wasn't something that was long-term. It was something that will be eliminated sooner or later, or actually streamlined by other people, players in the marketplace. Unless you build a personal brand, unless you say that you're best, right? And that's not something that I would like to do at a point of time. And the last thing is you technically don't own anything, right? So any point of time, your clients can leave you. Any point of time, you get shut down by various things and new changes in the market. This has happened to most businesses, but if you own a product or an offer, you are more resilient and you build a moat better than other people. Or if you own a software, for example, right? So that was what the challenges that I faced. So after going through all the flaws of this model, I really had to think through carefully what I really want, and that comes to the first thought process, right? Clarity of what I want and what I don't want. So I realized what my strengths and weaknesses were. So be it like my strengths were in actually also hiring and actually gathering people under me. My weaknesses were that I didn't really like spending all my time not managing, but rather managing clients, right? I don't want to spend so much time emphasizing on the problems they have and doing all this thing. I had the strengths to do that, but I didn't want to spend so much time. My focus is literally split across 20, 30 different clients, and I didn't have time to actually grow my own business as well. So I sit down and really jot down what my non-negotiables are. So be it what I wanted for myself. I wanted more freedom to actually learn various skills and level up. I did not want to spend my time doing one specific thing only. I want to grow businesses together. So I realized that I had to focus maybe on just one client if I were to still continue to do the agency, or basically own businesses, right? Pay money to them and say like, I want majority share, I run your business, and you just be the operating partners. So at a point in time, the agency wasn't in that direction. They wanted just cash flow and money, and felt that it wasn't really in line with my vision for myself, and that's really one of the reasons why. So I also talked to various people, friends, mentors on perspective of how I felt at that point of time. And they said that you do not need to put yourself in a mold of like you need the 7-figure agency to be successful. You don't need to scale to 8 figures. You do not need to do all these things just because you see other people doing it and you compare yourself with them. What you need to do is understand what makes you happy, what do you want, and then in the end, can you actually achieve this with your current situation, right? And that really placed clarity for me to actually decide on the next step moving forth. All I asked myself is, am I going to be happy doing this for the next 5 years? Is this what I envision myself for the next 5 years? How does this align with my strengths and weaknesses? And lastly, does this business model really fit into the lifestyle that I want? So for the second part is really on skill set, right? So to me, skill set is a very important process, or like in an important area which I really want to grow in my life, because if I don't grow this to a certain level, I'll be always stuck at a previous level that I had. I wanted to learn more skills pertaining to marketing, be it like organic traffic, be it like back-end how strategy, be it nurturing on products and services on email lists and stuff like that, and various other traffic sources, various other overall business models, rather than the current one I'm running, which is just basically run ads to a webinar and then you scale. I'm still doing that, but not saying like I'm doing that for everybody, because I realize some businesses who start 6 figures can't even run a webinar for their life because they don't have the skill, not their character, and they maybe can't hard sell in a way, or sell in a way that which actually gets people to actually buy from a webinar. It really depends on each business, and I want to help at a deeper level with most businesses and be able to have that experience, that strategy, mindset to actually help them at that at a level where instantly I can see it. I know that this is what you need to do, and this aligns with everything, your goals, your vision, and also your strengths and weaknesses. I want to be that consultant or like that marketing person, right? Be able to give that in-depth of knowledge and strategy to people. The second thing is that, can this business model help me learn the skill set, right? At the current point, the agency wasn't able to help me do that, or I wasn't also able to foresee them buying any businesses because of our current responsibilities, our current business built in a certain way. So we're not able to actually extract ourselves, or I cannot really create a new department to do that. And I thought of it longer term as well. If I were to do that for the business and I'm the one heading it, is it worthwhile for me? Share with other partners, right? Not saying that it's not, but the responsibilities, the R&R for other partners might not be in line with this model when I'm going to create that for the business. And I'll be kind of like doing it. I'd rather be able to do it myself than with other partners at a point of time. So that was a very logical thing that I realized that I need to do it for myself as well. Do they want to grow together with me in the direction? So the answer might be no, because they do not want to take on the responsibilities to actually grow in the direction. And then if I hit on that responsibility, must as well I just create a new company, right? And that was like my thought process at that point of time. So the third thing is really on money, right? So I was already earning 2 to 3 times more than my friends in uni, but I wasn't really happy with where I was at after 4 to 5 years of entrepreneurship. So basically, it wasn't at a level where I wanted to be. It wasn't where I envisioned myself to be, and I felt stuck at that point of time. I wasn't able to increase that. And the only way is either other people leave, other partners leave, or I leave. And I felt that it was easier, honestly, to really leave and create something new with the experience and skill set I already have. So, and my own money goals were really different at a point of time when I was 4 years in, right? So I wanted to have more for myself. I want to hit like 30, 40, 50K a month, take home income, not even in revenue. So, and I also wanted to really identify time for money, right? So basically, I do not want to always be working time for money. That was like the fundamental difference, I would say, as I had so many calls to do and I had no time for myself. So I realized that time for money is important. And I'll share with you exactly at the end of this video how I was able to get more time for money, and actually also able to, and the results that I did after leaving the agency. So that being said, that was all the decisions and the thought process that I went through to actually decide to leave the agency. It was very, very difficult. It wasn't easy, and I had to talk to my partners amicably as well. I don't want to leave on bad blood. So I'm still friends with them. I still refer them clients in a nutshell after 2 years of leaving the agency. It's been 2 years after I left, and I haven't really made a video addressing this. But most people know that I already have left if you're my friend, right? So this is the new model that I embark on currently, right? It is the fractional or like the CMO model. So this is where I am at currently in my journey. So I have lesser stress of a business owner, means I am technically working under somebody else as one of the executive, right? Chief executive. I am able to grow a small lean team, but a very efficient team to actually do many different things. I have freelancers and understand business at a totally different level, right? And if I decide to get more clients, right, as a fractional CMO, I can, and I can get higher paying clients essentially to hit the goals, money goals that I want, and also to grow the team to a certain level. Their team, right? It doesn't belong to me, to a certain level, as I have grown teams before. And I lead over 10 plus people in the agency, so that is not difficult for me. So the biggest change in my journey was, say, like truly understanding what I want and what I didn't want, and it helped navigate my life in such a different level and in such a different way, so that I don't easily say yes to different opportunities right now, right? Saying no is very, very important, and knowing your path and having that clarity to actually go to the next level is also important, right? So essentially, being happy with whatever you want is more important. Do not compare yourself. But as humans, we inevitably go as well. Once that clarity kind of sinks in, I was able to actually do that, take a leap of faith and join my client, right? So one of my clients actually reached out and said that maybe I want to join him because they felt that I wasn't really happy in what I was doing. And I took that opportunity and I grew that business up even more. So right now, 2 years after I left, I would say I earned twice the amount that I have made the agency, and much faster, much easier, much more freedom, and I have way more time in terms of learning new skills, identifying areas of growth for the companies, for myself, and also be much more time to think through certain decisions for companies, for myself, and all these things, right? Exactly where I want to be, and exactly where I went through that thought process on what the next 5 years going to look like. So I currently have the ability to earn 10 times more than before, and I'm embarking on that journey, right? So in the next 3 years, I'm going to foresee that to hit that goal as well. And to me, true wealth comes from truly understanding what you want and what you don't want and being happy with it.